In today's video, we'll learn how to make your budget work, your personal finance 101. A successful budget is the building block to a healthy financial life. If you don't know where your hard-earned money is going, you are in a big problem, mate. You must sit down and find out where your money is going now. The best way to do this is to come up with something called a budget. However, it needs to follow specific rules for a budget to work. This video will teach you these rules in just under 8 minutes. Just because you take the time to create a budget, go through your expenses and look for ways to reduce expenses and save does not guarantee you will have a successful time at budgeting, especially the first time around. You can do a few things that will help ensure your budget's success and guide you in successful implementation. First and foremost, do not look at budgeting as being set up to fail. Instead, it is setting up a guide for the future, ultimately resulting in you taking control of your finances. One key to not failing in budgeting is remembering that a budget is a living, breathing document intended to be changed and adapted to circumstances as life changes inevitably happen. By taking this approach to making and maintaining a budget, it is not set up to fail, but rather to succeed and thrive. An established budget will help you in achieving your financial goals. To achieve these goals, you must determine to use the budget as intended to reach a place where the goals are achievable. Here is the first key to the success of any budget. Have a clear goal to work towards. Write the goal down and keep it in a place where they are visible. Having a clear goal and one written down will help keep you on track with your budget and remind you why it is crucial. Goals such as getting out of debt or managing money better are worthy goals to strive towards, but a more realistic and achievable short term involves creating a budget that will enable you to save at least $100 a month or create 6 months worth of emergency cash. While getting out of debt and saving $100 a month are good goals, one is clear and precise and the other is more general. If you were to take the goal of getting out of debt and break it down into smaller goals that are more specific and measurable, change it to pay off all my credit card debts in the next 2 years. Then after that, you can have a new goal, such as paying off my student loans in the next 5 years. You still have the overall goal of getting out of debt, but it is now a series of smaller, more achievable goals. A good budget is values-based planning, selecting achievable goals based on your values and with a definite timeline to achieve them. Make a budget as simple or complex as it needs to be to fit your individual or family situation, which will help you achieve your financial goals. Some may not want 30 categories to track expenses, while others may want to know where every penny is spent and on what. Both budgets can be appropriate, depending on the circumstances and desires of the person whose job it is to create and use the budget. Some budgets will be time-consuming but appropriate for that individual or family. Others will only require a small amount of time to maintain. It all depends on what the particular user is comfortable doing. Set the budget up to be automatic. While this is not for everyone, it is useful for someone who is very busy and does not have much time to input data into a budget. Sites like www.mint.com allow users to link their bank and credit card accounts to the site to track expenses effectively. While this site will take transactions from individual accounts and place them into categories, it does not paint a complete picture. Anything purchased with cash is not accounted for on this particular Mint site, although any withdrawals will appear in the transactions. Another positive about the Mint site is that it allows the user to not only track accounts and expenses, but will also act as a balance sheet where it allows the user to link brokerage and retirement accounts, list the value of a residence and other assets to derive a net worth for the user. With Mint, you can base your budgets on any time frame that you see as appropriate. While most budgets are every month, this format may not fit their needs. Some people prefer a shorter time frame for their budget and may have it coincide with their pay schedule. If you are paid every 2 weeks, having a budget spanning that 2-week period may make more sense. If paid monthly, it may make more sense to have a budget that tracks that influx of income. Use whatever fits your situation best, then stick with that time frame for the best results. Budgets are not the end of your fun, but the beginning of understanding and financial freedom. If a budget is going to work properly, it needs to meet a few criteria. First, it needs to be realistic and achievable. If a budget does not meet these criteria, it will fail no matter how well-intentioned. The second aspect that is a must for a budget to be successful is that the budgeter needs to be completely honest about their financial situation. If you are accustomed to going to dinner with friends on the weekend, it is unrealistic to promise that you will no longer go to dinner on the weekends when you know you will most likely continue the tradition. The better approach is to compromise. For example, instead of going to dinner every weekend, we will only go out to dinner with friends once a month. In that scenario, the fun associated with dinner with friends remains intact. Still, it is reduced from every weekend to a single weekend per month, resulting in what could be a substantial saving. For a budget to be successful, it must be honest with your current financial situation. One way to follow a budget is to build a reward system after the budget's goals are met over a specified period. If you meet the budgeted targets and you or your family can save the desired amount, it is not unreasonable to build in a reward. The reward can be as simple as going to a new movie that is not planned or budgeted for, or may involve purchasing a new shirt. The reward needs to be within reason, but also substantial enough to give the incentive to meet the budgeted goals. That's it. Making your budget work is that simple. If you encounter challenges in your budgeting journey, just remember to return to this video or drop your questions in the comment section below. You can support my work by hitting that like button. That said, thanks for watching and see you in the next one.